Hello, television family. We're back. Thanks for starting your Tuesday with us. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I'm Dan Kuntz, your host. 25th day of February, 2025. We're almost done with February. March comes the call in on Saturday, and once we get through today, things are going to be calm, benign, quiet, not a lot of weather to talk about. Once we get to Wednesday, we're not there yet. Still some spittles of rain possible. We've had some light rain in the overnight hours. Big time snow coming down right now in the mountain passes. In fact, I just checked maybe 10 minutes ago on the DOT's website. Chains are required right now on Stevens. It's snowing hard up there. Blewett's getting a pretty good dose. Not too bad at I-90. Lots of snow in the mountains. A couple of hit and miss rain showers while we're done. Significant wind. It'll kick up in about an hour or so. By early afternoon, it's going to be very, very windy. Wouldn't be surprised if we see a couple of power outages from trees falling down because the ground is so saturated with moisture right now. We had that wind event on Sunday afternoon and Sunday night, which lasted quite a bit with gusts about 45 miles an hour. It's not going to last as long as it did on Sunday, and it's not going to be as windy as it was on Sunday, but it's going to be windy enough for most folks. A very active weather forecast just for today is coming up, and as I already mentioned, after we get through today, things are going to be pretty quiet from Mother Nature. A lot of news to get to, but not too much in the sports department. That's part and parcel for a Tuesday, but we'll do what we can in there. But speaking of sports, the Wenatchee Wild needed to get points in each game the previous weekend to stay in the playoff hunt, and they did just that. 2 wins and an overtime loss, which means points, which means we got a shot at the playoffs. We got some work to do. We got 3 games in 3 days, just like we had last weekend. Austin Andrade, as he is prone to do on Tuesdays, will be here live in our studio to talk a little Wenatchee Wild hockey. They're not dead yet. They had a big weekend, just what they needed it. We have not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 slides to show for you. It's a weather slide smorgasbord. As I mentioned already, get ready for some pretty strong winds. Waterville, you could see some gusts pushing 70 miles an hour. It's possible as these pressure gradients are tightening big time. Here in the Wenatchee Valley, our gusts, our sustained wind is going to be this morning at about 15 miles an hour, up to about 20 miles an hour this afternoon. And then the occasional rogue gust pushing 40 miles an hour. But it's not going to last as long as it did on Sunday. The strongest winds here in the valley and in the Waterville Plateau, for that matter, will be between about 11:30 this morning till about 2. It's going to be quite windy at times. Again, wouldn't be surprised if a power outage or 2 comes our way. Rain today, we're almost done with it. We are still going to get a little bit of light rain in pockets. Most of the rain is going to be to the north and the east of us. And again, as I mentioned before, big time snow. So we're pretty much done with the rain. For the record, our total rainfall between Saturday, Sunday, and yesterday was a little over 1/3 of an inch of rain, which really was not as much as we were expecting. It's still quite a bit. We had 0.36 inches of rain between Saturday, Sunday, and yesterday, and we've had a little bit of measurable rain since midnight tonight. Speaking of this, check this out. Yesterday's high temperature, 46 degrees, which was 1 degree above normal. The interesting thing about Monday's high temperature, that 46-degree mark, it happened at 1:14 in the morning. In the morning was when we hit our high temperature of 146. Don't see that too often. Mountain snow, yeah, a lot of it. Again, Stevens is getting hammered right now. Chains are required on Stevens. Traction tires are required on Blewitt. Not too bad on I-90. Snoqualmie is not getting the brunt of the snow event, but Stevens Pass is. It's snowing hard. It's going to snow hard most of the day today until late in the afternoon hours. And as you can see up in the areas like Holden Village and Stehekin, you're going to have a lot of snow as well. On Tuesdays, we always do the Climate Prediction Center. Today is no exception, if I remember to download the slide, and I did. This is next week. This will take us from Sunday, March 2nd, through the middle of next week. From our temperature outlook from the Climate Prediction Center, the long-term forecast calls for temperatures about normal, right around the mid to upper 40s for this time of the year, because we're getting these longer days. Today is going to be 3 minutes and 20 seconds longer than yesterday. Sunrise has already happened, 6:48, sunset tonight, 5:40. I'm digging these longer days. We'll go over the 11-hour mark of daylight, by the way, on the weekend on Saturday. And as far as precipitation, again, same time period, Sunday through Wednesday of next week, pretty much about normal. So again, we're in for a very quiet weather. Once we get through today, it looks like right on through the middle of next week, we're going to have pretty normal temperatures and pretty normal precipitation as it's almost March. Wow, what happened to February? It's all but going. All right, to business from the National Weather Service. Still have a chance of rain this morning, about a 40% chance of rain. That chance of rain will be about down to nothing as the wind event kicks up. The snow level right now is at 3,100 feet, which is why the passes are getting all that snow. It's going to be above pass level by the afternoon, so they'll be done with that. We got clouds this morning. They're very high. They'll be gone by this afternoon, and the big story is the wind. Breezy this morning, windy this afternoon. About 50 mile an hour southeast wind this morning, about 20 miles an hour this afternoon, gusts pushing 40 between 11:30 and 2, so get ready for some big time wind. Then we clear out tonight, 31 for the overnight low, and then we got nothing really to talk about. We get a nice calm weather pattern. I think we're all ready for that. 47 with partly sunny skies on Wednesday. We'll top off at 51 on Thursday. Under partly sunny skies, that's the warmest temperature of the year so far. Mostly sunny Friday, 51. Partly sunny Saturday, 51. Partly sunny Sunday, 52. Monday, 52. Overnight lows and afternoon highs right around normal, maybe a little bit warmer for the afternoon highs and just about normal for the overnight lows. So today is going to be really windy and lots of snow in the upper elevations, and then whew, we all get a break. We're going to take a break, a 2-minute one as a matter of fact, and come back with the news. You're watching a Tuesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
A ductless unit from Carrier can keep anyone comfortable. Take Shelly, for instance. She finds me time in her new attic-turned-home gym. And with her Carrier ductless unit, the temperature is always perfect, no matter how intense her workout gets. Carrier, total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
Hi, I'm Amanda Walden with A. Walden Insurance Group. Medicare can be overwhelming, but you don't have to figure it out alone. I've been helping people understand their Medicare options for over a decade. Medicare isn't a one-size-fits-all. I'll help you understand your coverage options so you can feel confident in your decisions. Let's find the right Medicare plan for you. Call me today or come and see me at my office located on South Chelan Avenue in Wenatchee between the YMCA and the Social Security office. I look forward to meeting you soon.
After 60 years, this President's Day is the last and final President's Day ever for Crown Furniture in Wenatchee. We're going out of business. All fine furniture must be sold immediately. Now through President's Day, extra discounts will be in effect store-wide. Prices slashed even lower than our already low liquidation prices. It's the President's Day sale to beat all President's Day sales. Everything is in stock and ready to go. Take it home today or take fast delivery. Our last and final President's Day ever at Crown Furniture. After 60 years closing the doors and going out of business forever.
Central Washington Water is your solution for problem water. Whether you're on a well or municipal water, they can design a clean water system custom to you. Soft water eliminates water spots and scaling on fixtures. It protects appliances from hard water damage, saving you money. Soft water reduces soap usage that causes skin irritation and is a healthier choice to drink. Call for a free in-home consultation or stop by the store to have your water tested. Central Washington Water, your best water solution for home, pool, and spa.
Salmon-colored sky up there at Lake Wenatchee. Here in the Wenatchee Valley, we're the coldest spot in all the viewing areas. We're at 33. It's already in the mid-40s out in the Columbia Basin. High clouds are already beginning to pass through. If you look at the clouds, they're moving at a pretty good clip. That's the prelude to all the wind we're going to get this afternoon. And then we got nothing but late winter, early spring weather starting on Wednesday. It's 9 minutes after the hour. The Columbia River Drug Task Force says a January search led to the arrest of a known drug dealer here in the Wenatchee Valley. It happened back on January 17th. That's when officers used a search warrant to look around the 300 block of Herds River Ranch Lane, that's in Malaga, where they allegedly uncovered fentanyl in pill and powder form, as well as over $3,000 in cash believed to be from the sale of drugs. Police say a second warrant was used to search storage units, and there they uncovered 2 pistols and methamphetamine. Daniel Grinch McClellan, he's 38 years old. He also has prior criminal convictions. He was arrested on charges of unlawful possession of a firearm and possession of fentanyl with intent to sell. He faces a possible trial in Douglas County in May. Chelan County will pay an estimated $6.7 million to build a new government campus out in Old Station. Cascade Central Construction of Wenatchee was the low bidder last week, promising to build the new office and fleet maintenance complex for about $1.9 million less than the engineer's estimate. County commissioners purchased the land on Omi Garden Road last year for about $1.8 million. The county expects to construct 3 buildings on the property. They'll total about 18,000 square feet, each with office space and vehicle bays. It will eventually be the home to the Chelan County Coroner's Office, the Sheriff's Emergency Management Agency, and the Motor Pool Division, which is responsible for maintaining county vehicles. A Wenatchee man was sentenced to federal prison on Friday after investigators found him in possession of 200 images of child sex abuse material. 34-year-old Justin Boyd Rentiera will serve 15 years after pleading guilty to the receipt of child pornography. The Chelan County Sheriff's Office began the investigation of Rentiera in the summer of 2023. That's while he was already on federal release for a previous conviction for child porn possession. The FBI found 200 illicit images and videos of adults on a phone seized from Rentiera during an October 2023 search. That's according to a news release. In the sentencing, U.S. District Chief Judge Stan Bastian also imposed a lifetime of supervised release, and that means he must report to a probation officer indefinitely once he's freed from prison. Prosecutors have dropped charges against an East Wenatchee man initially accused of vehicular assault for a November rollover crash near the Otabashian Bridge. 36-year-old Jose Armando Valenzuela was injured back on November 7th along with a passenger when the 2002 Hyundai sedan they were traveling in skidded off the road while westbound on Highway 2. The Washington State Patrol said Valenzuela's had a blood alcohol content of 0.08%. That is exactly the legal limit for intoxication. However, there was confusion at the scene about whether Valenzuela was actually driving the vehicle, and Douglas County prosecutors earlier this month said they would not go forward with the criminal charge due to lack of evidence. A proposal to more closely regulate wood-burning stoves in Washington. Done deal. It's gone up in smoke. The State Department of Ecology backing away from its proposal to regulate wood-burning stoves sold in the state, saying it will not pursue a Senate bill that would have duplicated federal emission standards and testing for wood stoves. State Senator Shelley Short of the 7th District said the death of the bill is good news for rural residents who rely on wood-burning stoves to heat their homes.
While I consider the issue dead, I will be watching for a number of things to make sure that it doesn't rear its ugly head through potentially the budget. Good for people and the ability to use their stoves, their wood stoves, their pellet stoves to heat their homes, and for the manufacturers to continue to do what they do so well.
3 Okanagan County communities are going to benefit from state public works money to keep drinking water flowing. The State Department of Transportation plans to replace the Highway 155 bridge, that's in Omak, but the bridge carries a city water main. Well, the state yesterday announced a $210,000 grant to study the best way to reroute and upgrade the water main. The bridge was built over 100 years ago. It is scheduled to be replaced in 2027. Other projects receiving state awards including wastewater treatment plants that need renovation in the towns of Winthrop and Okanagan. Each of those communities can expect a $1 million grant to aid in those efforts. And over 100 people jumped into the Columbia River. I'm assuming it was really cold on Saturday morning to help fundraise for athletes for the Washington Special Olympics. The Wenatchee Valley, of course, has been hosting athletes from around the state for the Washington Special Olympics Winter Games. We've been doing it since 1990. The 35th Winter Games begins this Friday, and they were celebrated with the polar plunge at Walla Walla Point Park. City Wenatchee Recreation Supervisor Carol Andre spoke with us about how the polar plunge supports Special Olympics.
This is our annual polar plunge for Special Olympics Washington. It's one of many plunges around the state. We just happen to have the one here at Walla Walla Point Park for the Wenatchee area. It's a fundraiser for Special Olympics athletes. It helps pay for transportation, equipment, all that fun stuff for the athletes. Our goal was to raise $15,000, and we raised over $22,000, and there's still money coming in, so we're excited about that. Some years we do better than other years. We had over 100 plungers this year, which is amazing. So when you sign up to plunge, it's a commitment to raise at least $50, and a lot of people go way beyond that. Our top funders are raised over $2,200 by himself. So once you get going and start raising those funds, it's kind of this nice ball that keeps rolling, and you raise more and more. It's a super fun time for the whole community to get together and jump in the cold water. It's a law enforcement-based program, so there's lots of first responders and police and fire here, which is amazing. It's called the Law Enforcement Torch Run Campaign. It's an arm of the Special Olympics Washington State Office. So there's law enforcement all over the state that just dedicate themselves to these athletes and raising funds to help those athletes participate. If you've never volunteered with a Special Olympics program or sport or event, you should. It's some of the most rewarding time I've ever spent. I've been involved in it since I was 16. And then for our Valley, on top of it being an amazing event, which the hoteliers love our athletes coming into town. They always say they're the best people to come stay at their hotels. But it's an economic impact to our Valley too. It's one of the biggest sporting events as far as money into our Valley too. So it's a win-win. We need over 600 volunteers to run this next weekend. We have 10 gyms that we have basketball at. We have cheerleading. We have alpine at Mission Ridge, cross country in Leavenworth, snowshoeing, ice skating at the Town Toyota Center. It just takes a huge amount of people to run the games, and we're still pretty short. We're at around 300 or 400 folks. So if you just go to the Special Olympics state website, it's SOWA.org, SpecialOlympicsWashington.org. There's just a thing you can click on. You can look at all the opportunities and just sign up to help with the opening ceremonies or scorekeep at a basketball gym with your family. There's lots of things everyone can do.
Congratulations to those brave souls. I did it once a number of years ago. It's one of those things that you do once and then never do again. That is the news at 17 minutes after the hour. Whatever happens on this Tuesday, whatever develops, we got a team of crack news people who will gather the news, disseminate the news, and at 5 o'clock tonight, whoop, out it comes on the NCWLIFE Evening News. That's at 5, 6, and 10 on television. We know a lot of people don't consume television in the traditional way, and that's cool. We got you covered anyway. Our news will be posted on our homepage, ncwlife.com, and our YouTube page and our Facebook page right around 5 o'clock every Monday through Friday. The QR code is right there on the screen if you want to download the app if you haven't done so already. And if you're out and about and you see something that might be worth us looking into, you send us an email. That's the best way to do it because like everybody gets the email if it's sent to news@ncwlife.com. I'm going to preview a little hockey and a little college basketball, and the Mariners had a pretty good spring training day. Sports is next. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel. The family at the Epladolin want to help your loved one feel at ease in their new home environment. Epladolin offers beautiful one-bedroom and studio apartments. Residents enjoy 3 delicious home-style meals a day, laundry service, housekeeping service, and encouragement to make themselves cozy in their new home. Epladolin welcomes your family to come and visit their family. Epladolin, independent and assisted living. They make the complicated easy for you. Call today for a tour.
Coming home should never be a chore. Let Merry Maids of Wenatchee customize all your cleaning needs. Weekly, bi-weekly, special occasion. Do you have a vacation home that needs cleaning? We clean them too. Locally owned and operated, let Merry Maids do the cleaning while you focus on your family and friends. Merry Maids has special offers to fit your budget. Request your free cleaning estimate today. 509-663-1710. Craving fresh Asian comfort food? Steam Panda is Wenatchee's popular family-friendly Asian restaurant. They focus on providing guests with delicious, healthy, fresh, and natural dishes for an affordable price. Warm up with one of their many popular house-made soup dumplings, ramen noodles, or pho dishes. And make sure to ask about their lunch and chef specials on sushi rolls. Steam Panda's Hawaiian poke bowl and salads are excellent with your favorite boba tea. Stop by or order online at Steam Panda today.
Caught in a conflict? Family, workplace, neighbor, business, housing disputes? Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center provides mediation services, a cost-effective and efficient way to provide a written resolution to disputes and issues. Plus, we offer mediation training. and community education on conflict resolution and communication skills. Contact us to learn more.
20 minutes after the hour on this Tuesday, the St. Louis Blues host the Seattle Kraken in Western Conference play tonight. St. Louis is even Steven. They are 26-26-6 overall. They are 13-14-3 on their home ice. The Blues have gone 22-4-2 when they score at least 3 goals. Seattle is 25-30-4 overall. They are 12-16-0 in road games. The Kraken have gone 23-3-3 in games when they score 3 or more goals. The puck will drop at 5 on Kong TV. Logan Gilbert made his first start of spring training against the Brewers yesterday. He's one of our best pitchers, and of course the games don't count, so they don't pitch very much, and he didn't. He gave up a couple of walks, a base hit, and he struck out 3, and then he left after the second inning. Seattle fell behind 7-1. They posted 6 runs at the top of the 6th and 5 more runs in the next 2 innings. The Mariners will play the Dodgers this afternoon in Camelback Mountain. Louis Castillo, by the way, will make his first start of the season. Men's college basketball tonight. Gonzaga, they really need to beat Santa Clara. They've been struggling lately. They lost to Santa Clara the last time they played. Of course, Gonzaga right now might not even make the tournament, so they got to win tonight. They'll be at Santa Clara. It'll be a tough one, 8 o'clock on CBS Sports. For the Husky men, it's been pretty much a lost season, and they'll take on a heavily favored Wisconsin Badger team at 6 o'clock tonight on Peacock, if you have it. And I do. I can watch it. And the Wenatchee Bighorns opened their 2025 campaign in the TBL, the Basketball League. It starts this Saturday at Wenatchee Valley College. The Willamette Valley Jaguars will be in town to take on the Bighorns at W.B. Smith Gymnasium. Saturday night, 7 o'clock, Grant Olson will have the play-by-play with help from Jamie Council, doing interviews with coaches and players. Pre-game at 6:45, tip-off at 7. We'll have it right here on the NCWLIFE channel. Of course, you want to go to the game. So if you want to go to the game, buy tickets, go to WenatcheeBighorns.com. And that is a brief look at sports because it's all we got. 22 minutes after the hour for the obscure holiday. First of all, in the Philippines, happy People Power Revolution Anniversary Day in the Philippines. In Kuwait, it's National Day. Just thought I'd throw that out there. It's also National Chocolate Covered Nut Day. National Chocolate Covered Anything Day is fine by me. But no, today it's one of my favorite dishes, especially in the winter, clam chowder. It's National Clam Chowder Day today. Clam chowder, they tell us, began with the French in the middle 1700s, and then Nova Scotia, basically British, anywhere where you could find clams. And it was a pretty affordable dish because clams are pretty much everywhere. And then, of course, they started adding crackers and croutons as a thickener. And then, of course, it made the trip over to the States. By 1836, clam chowder became a staple of sailors. Clams, because sailors, all they ever ate was fish, and that gets pretty monotonous after a while. So they decided, well, how about clams? So you won't have to eat fish all the time. There are, of course, different clam chowders depending on the region of where you live and where the clams are. There is New England clam chowder, probably the most famous of them. There's Long Island clam chowder. There's Delaware clam chowder. There's New Jersey clam chowder. I don't know if we'd eat that. Puget Sound clam chowder, the stuff that we're used to here in our neck of the woods. The oldest known clam was a quahog. It was over 400 years old. Most clams only live between 3 to 5 years unless those guys get a hold of them first. Clams, if they're not disturbed, can reach up to 3 inches long in those 3 to 5 years. They can, the big clams, the giant clams, can grow up to 4 feet. Nothing like clam chowder in a bowl of bread, because you can eat all of it. It's been a long time since I had real clam chowder. You see clam chowder that comes in the can, you know, it's just the same thing. Not here. I mean, we got clams coming out of our clams, so enjoy it. Clam chowder day today. I'm in the mood. It's just about 25 minutes after the hour. Today in history. Well, on this date 68 years ago today, bad news for the National Football League. In a 5-3 decision, the United States Supreme Court rules that the National Football League was subject to antitrust laws, which means that if you wanted to start a rival professional football league, you could, and there was nothing the NFL could do about it. And of course, there have been any number of competitors to the National Football League, the American Football League, the United States Football League. There have been all kinds of football leagues. So once again, the Supreme Court reiterates that Major League Baseball and only Major League Baseball is the sole professional sport that was and remains exempt from antitrust laws. They've visited this time and time again. They've stuck to their ruling. So Major League Baseball gets the antitrust exemption that no other professional sport in this country gets. And the Supreme Court has already said, if you want to change it, Congress, you have to do it. Sorry, NFL. There's something wrong about that. And the legend of Muhammad Ali began really in earnest on this date in Miami Beach, February 25th, 1964, 61 years ago today. People knew Muhammad Ali. Of course, he won the gold medal in the light heavyweight division at the Rome Olympics in 1960, turned professional, worked his way up the heavyweight ranks, became well known as a loudmouth and a braggart. And on this date, he took on Sonny Liston for the heavyweight championship of the world in Miami Beach. Sonny Liston makes Mike Tyson look like a weakling. I mean, Sonny Liston was a scary guy, a really scary guy. He was a 7-1 favorite, Sonny Liston was. Neither one of these fighters were particularly popular. Sonny Liston had long associations with the mob, and of course, Muhammad Ali, known as Cassius Clay, was known for his brash personality and his big mouth, but he backed it up. Muhammad Ali, then known as Cassius Clay, a 7-1 underdog, defeats Sonny Liston when he fails to answer the bell for the 7th round. Muhammad Ali becomes the heavyweight champion of the world, and he would hold that title until the government took it from him a few years later. And birthdays. Jim Backus, born in the state in 1913. Of course, Gilligan's Island, as Thurston Howell III. He ad-libbed a lot of his lines. They had to do a lot of scenes with Jim Backus over and over again because he kept ad-libbing his lines and making his cast members on camera laugh until they finally got a take that they could work. Of course, the voice of Mr. Magoo forever. He was James Dean's father in Rebel Without a Cause, and he made comedy novelty records. In fact, there's one record, you should check it out. It's called Delicious. Jim Backus recorded that in mid to late 50s. It's pretty funny. Jim Backus, born in this state in 1913. Another heavenly birthday, George Harrison. He would have been 82 years old today. He and Paul McCartney rode on the same bus that was driven by George Harrison. That's how they met. George was 1 year younger in school. He and Paul got to be pretty good buddies. George loved to play the guitar. He practiced, and he was allowed to join the Beatles because his mother would allow the Beatles to rehearse in their house. And who's kidding who? When you're a rock and roll band and you're rehearsing, has a tendency to be kind of noisy. That is how George Harrison ingrained himself to John and Paul by saying, Mom says we can rehearse in the living room. The great George Harrison, we miss him a lot. Born in the state in 1943. And happy 49th birthday to Rashida Jones. Parks and Recreation, of course, The Office, Boston Public, The Muppets, and a few other projects as well. Rashida Jones, a talented and a great screenwriter, too. She's written some pretty good stuff. She's 49 years old today. For Heat and Air, call Alpine Air. For Heat and Air, call Alpine Air. They are our platinum sponsors, and we appreciate that. And their Cash for Clunkers program, I believe, is up and running still. If you want to switch out your entire HVAC system, you don't have to switch out the vents, but I mean the actual unit that warms your house in the winter and cools it in the summertime, get your filters all cleaned out, your first call should always be to Alpine Air. Mike McNaughty has got an opinion right around the corner, and live in Studio C, Austin Drade. The Wenatchee Wild needed to have a good weekend last weekend, and they did. Austin will join me live when we come back. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
Global Car Care has the best customer service in the Valley. From the moment you walk in the door, their goal is to help you stay on the road, so you can keep doing what's important to you. Global Car Care certified ASE mechanics stand behind your automotive repairs.
When you buy tires at Les Schwab, you're getting more than just tires. You're getting America's best tire warranty, 60-day satisfaction guarantee, no hassle road hazard protection, and free maintenance for the life of your tires. So if something happens to your tire on the road, we'll fix it, or we'll replace it, no questions asked. Other places make you pay extra for that kind of protection, but at Les Schwab, it's included with every set of tires, because more warranty means less worry, and nobody stands by their tires like Les Schwab. Get more from Les.
Caught in a conflict? Family, workplace, neighbor, business, housing disputes? Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center provides mediation services, a cost-effective and efficient way to provide a written resolution to disputes and issues. Plus, we offer mediation training and community education on conflict resolution and communication skills. Contact us to learn more.
Hey, this is Mike, Mad Dog Magnati, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, I work with combat veterans, some of whom suffer survivor's guilt, and they often ask themselves the question, why? Why me? Why did I survive when others didn't? Now, what I want them to know is that the answer to this question is not coming externally. It's not coming from somewhere else. The answer to this question, why, is not coming from somewhere out there. Instead, the answer comes from their own life. Because most of these veterans have gone on to live productive and contributing beneficially to other people in their lives, despite the trauma that they still carry and live with. Why did they survive? To have built their lives and their families and to be there for others, as many have been and continue to be. That's why. This is Mike, Mad Dog Magnati, and that's my opinion.
This March, Lake Chelan welcomes food and wine lovers to an unforgettable experience. Taste Chelan. 16 of the Valley's top wineries and restaurants create the perfect pairing of fine wines and Epicurean delights. With 4 unique winery tracks and 5 weekends to explore, every visit offers something fresh and exciting. From your first sip to the last bite, every moment is a delicious adventure, so don't wait. Tickets are selling fast. Visit TasteChelan.com today.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether, we provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
Your piece of land demands the very best equipment. Kubota equipment. The #1 selling compact tractor in the U.S. With professional grade mowers, versatile sidekick utility vehicles, and compact tractors that get it done right. All backed by unmatched dealer support. Talk to your dealer today to schedule a demo.
When you've been in business for 40 years, it's because you understand change and you put members first, always. Now Works is announcing a change in their membership model. Up to 6 people on one membership that you can mix and match. The more people, the bigger the discounts. Introducing the Works shared membership model. One membership, friends and family and flexibility. Works, the cleanest, friendliest, most helpful gyms you and your friends will ever join.
If it's Tuesday, it means Hockey Talk with Austin Trade, broadcasting voice of the Wenatchee Wild. We needed to have a good weekend last weekend. By that, we needed to at least get a point in every game, if not more. And by golly, mission accomplished. 2 victories and an overtime loss means that we racked up some much-needed points in our push for that 8th and final playoff spot. We're right on the heels of the Seattle Thunderbirds. Can't rule out Kamloops either. before we got to the games ahead of us, and it's another 3 games, a 3-day weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Kind of backwards, we're 2 road games and 1 home game. Last week we had 2 home games and 1 road game. The weekend that was briefly, and then we'll roll into some highlights. By the time the Sunday victory over Vancouver wrapped up, the team must be feeling pretty good about themselves.
I think they really are. I think that game on Sunday, not just winning a game, not just being able to hold a lead at the end, but really running away with that game, setting up the power play the way the guys did. They moved the puck. They moved without the puck. They moved with purpose. They weren't standing around. There is still a little bit to take care of, I think, on the defensive end. We've had some guys who are they're trying to get out of the zone before the puck is. They're trying to lead something up the ice before there's something there. And the teams that we play, they're going to force you to play. They're going to force you to play it straight up. It's kind of like a second baseman or a shortstop cheating toward the bag when he's playing defense. These teams won't let you cheat. They're going to force you to play honest and straight up. And we've gotten caught on that a couple times, but I think that's the biggest thing from the weekend to clean up. These guys played 3 really good games this weekend, and obviously the results speak a lot for themselves.
If you're going to make mistakes, you want to make aggressive mistakes and not passive mistakes, and so there's that.
Absolutely, you want to be trying to make an opportunity happen rather than just reacting to the play and forcing the opportunity to come to you, hoping that there's going to be one to come to you in the first place. And if the guys are going to make mistakes and leave something out there, we would definitely prefer it be aggressive and trying to make a play to better the result for the team.
To recap, overtime victory over Seattle. It took forever for the goals to happen. This was on Friday. At home, a 2-1 victory over Seattle. On the road in Portland, we took them to overtime. Great game. Couldn't quite get the job done in overtime, which is a crapshoot anyway. A 4-3 loss, but you still get a point for an overtime loss. And then, of course, Sunday, as we just mentioned, pretty easy victory over Vancouver. Let's go ahead and start with Friday night at the Town Toyota Center with the Seattle Thunderbirds in town. A game we absolutely had to win, and we did. Seattle got a point. We got more points. Austin, I'm going to have you use the monitor here at Studio C. You folks at home, please use your televisions to Friday night. We go.
Well, we start fairly early. Took a while for the goals to happen, but not this one. Braden Sherman leaves one out front, and Matej Pekash shovels it home. The backhand throw makes it 1-0 just 6 minutes into the game, and not the start the Wild were looking for, as Pekash makes it a 1-0 game. You see the replay once again. Whirls it below the goal line. I'm just going to leave it out front, trust that there's a teammate there, and they'll take care of it. But the Wild bring it the other way in the third period. 49 minutes without a goal until Maddox McCaggerty finds it in the right face-off circle and gives it a heave and makes this one a tie hockey game with 5 minutes to go. It's just left their right circle, but there's a man on the spot to take care of the business. Just kind of moving around, but there happens to be a man there for the finish. Wild win a puck battle on their own end, and all of a sudden, looky what we have here, a 2-on-1. Miles Cooper, Lucas McCloskey, close your eyes, let it fly. And ladies and gentlemen, drive home safely. Wild win 2-1. You drive home safely, we'll drive to Portland, and we'll pack the 2 points. Lucas McCloskey takes care of business and sends them home happy. 2-on-1 with the rush. And McCloskey, the defenseman, was talking with some of the guys on the bus after the game, and Lucas, it didn't sound like was entirely sure where the puck was headed coming off his stick, but if he's not sure where it's headed, you think the goaltender knows where it's headed? Can't even guess. And Lucas McCloskey hit his target and sent the Wild on the road with 2 very hard-fought, well-earned, and much-needed points to knock the margin at that time down to 3 points going into Saturday's game.
The term that you just used, is that a hockey term that I'm not familiar with? What does that mean in hockey talk?
You can heave it, you can hurl it, you can hoist it, you can
okay. I learned something
toss it, dump
every day. We'll briefly talk about Saturday. Again, it was an overtime loss to Portland, But we gave the Winterhawks all they could stand from us. We almost pulled it out. Talk briefly about Vancouver before we roll into Sunday's game.
Yeah, so the Portland game on Saturday, didn't want to see the guys get into a 3-0 hole, but love the grit that the guys showed to get back in it. Got a big power play goal late in the second period with Reed Andreessen. Actually got that one on a video review. Great cross the ice pass, got one to the back post. Reed caught it, let it fly. Nice catch by the goaltender, but his glove was already over the line, so they ended up giving it to us on the replay. And I think coming into the third period with a little bit of life there, we'd done that once before in Portland earlier this season, and gotten it started late in the second period, if I remember right, to give the guys a little bit of confidence going in. I'm sure the guys were telling each other in the dressing room, we did this earlier this year, so let's go out and do it again. And a couple big goals. Easton Mannix got a tip on his throw from the right point early in the third period, midway through. Got the game all tied up, and almost were able to hold that couple points. But just the same way we won the game on Friday, they took it the other way, got us on Saturday night. So we get the 1 point out of it. Still a nice long string of games with points for the guys, but it was a disappointed bus on the way home, to be sure.
Well, they made up for it on Sunday. Austin mentioned the power play, and boy, we were smoking on the power play on Sunday in a rather easy 4-2 victory over the Vancouver Giants. We were 4 for 5 on the power play. That's as good as we've done all year. Once again, Austin, monitor, you folks at home, television. Here we go, Sunday afternoon at the Town Toyota Center.
Well, early on, it was looking like a defensive stalemate, but Wenatchee gets their first power play of the day, and they do not wait to convert. That one was supposed to be a setup pass right in front of the net, but it got through, and Miles Cooper says, okay, I'll take care of it from here. 1:43 left in the first period, halfway through the power play, and the Wild take the 1-0 lead. We'll see the replay right here. There's a man waiting at the bottom as this one comes right back through him, swing and a miss, but no problem. Miles Cooper takes care of it. Evan Friesen looking for that opportunity, and it ends up going to his teammate. We'll hear from Evan Friesen, though, a little bit later on. Second period. This one is going to come back the other way. But Wenatchee's going to get a turnover right about here, just a takeaway in the corner. We said we'd hear from Evan Friesen again, right? We're going to hear from him right here. And he speaks loudly, speaks softly, but carry a really big stick.
By
with
the way,
a really
he's going to have
goal.
my favorite goal of the year so far coming up a little bit later on in these highlights. Mr. Friesen.
2-0 score for the Wild, but hang on. But wait, there's more. 1:01 into the period. This one, Sean Rios right in front. The Wild get a quick takeaway and take it the other way. Shaping up for a 3-on-2. Nice back checking by the Vancouver Giants, but not quickly enough to get over and stop up Sean Rios. This one, 1:01 into the second period, and it's a 3-0 game. How about this one? Sean Rios from the blue line, up top, my man. 4-0 Wild in front. Another power play goal. That one, Friesen in front, looking for the tip. Didn't get him, though. Sean Rios with the second goal of the game. It's a 3-horse race for the Wild for the team goal-scoring lead as Sean Rios scores his 23rd of the year right down the gut.
It's good to have him back.
It's good to have him back.
This is the goal I was talking about here.
It's good to have Evan Friesen doing things like this. Left point, Andreessen, pop fly, center field. It is gone for a goal, and it's 5-1. Another power play goal for the Wild, their third of the game. Evan Friesen sets up in front. Whoop!
It just hit him in the back and dropped in. He didn't even know what happened.
Right in the back. What hit me? My 24th goal of the year.
Yeah, it counts, but it hits him in the back and goes into the net.
Goal early in the third for Vancouver to make it 5-2. But Wenatchee, right point, and across. Dawson Seitz, check out this rebound. Pounce on it. 6-2. This one a true bounce to the left wing. And Dawson Seitz gets the bounce, pots it for another power play goal. Wenatchee's fourth of the season. The Wild were getting these bounces all day. A lot of times didn't have a man there ready to take care of it. This time, though, They do. Dawson Seitz in his 200th Western Hockey League game. How about that to cap it off? Wenatchee, 4 power play goals in the game. It's a brand new season high. Count it down and send it down. Wenatchee on another penalty kill, 6 for 7 on the penalty kill, no less, to go with a 4 for 5 day on the power play. Wenatchee did not have a full 2-minute power play in this game. Every power play was either a goal or the one that they didn't convert on was cut short because of a penalty halfway through. There was not a single 2-minute power play in the entire game for Wenatchee.
The veteran players on Sunday and the front line, the first change, the first line really carried the burden, didn't they? And they did it very well.
They did, and right now we're at a stretch of the season where we need our top guys to really carry things for this group. And I think the guys like Andreessen, Reed had 4 assists on the day, a brand new career high for him. Lucas Urbina had 3 assists. We had Evan Friesen, we had Miles Cooper stepping up, Dawson Seitz with that big finish. They were arguably our 5 best guys on the ice on Sunday, and you need that from your veterans at this time of the year when you're trying to carry your team through a tough stretch, get your team over the hump and into the playoffs. Your big guys have to come up, and they did that.
Speaking of big guys, it's good to have Mr. Sean Rios back. He had to sit for 6 games, deservedly so. The suspension by the league was warranted. He's back, and we needed him.
He came back in a big way. He added a lot back to our power play. He added things back on Saturday down in Portland. Obviously, with 6 games off, it takes a little bit of time for that line to gel again and get things back. And I think that first period probably displayed that. But after the second period, he looked like his old self out on the ice. His teammates were finding him. He knew exactly where to go, what to do. Picking it right back up again, and picked up the 2 goals on Sunday. Got some good shots and got some good help from his teammates to get those going.
6 possible points over the weekend. We got 5. Same scenario again this weekend. Games Friday, game Saturday, game Sunday. At least a point in each game. Here's where we sit as we speak. Seattle is in 8th place. That's the final playoff spot. The Thunderbirds, they have 50 points. They're 2 points ahead of the Wenatchee Wild with 48 points. And Kamloops has 45 points. The difference is, and this is critical, even though everybody plays 68 games, we only have 11 games left. Kamloops, and more importantly, Seattle, they have 12 games left. So we talked about how big last weekend was. This weekend is even bigger, especially with 2 road games.
This is a big one. We've got the 2 road games, and they're going to be tough ones. Spokane with the game on Friday night. We'll get their top group again. We've talked about their top 2 draft picks, Berkeley Catton and Andrew Crystal. They've got the league goal scoring leader in Shea Van Olm. They've got a high-powered team that we were able to really play physical against, get some power play success, and really shut down the last time we were out there. 30 seconds away from getting those 2 points out there, we still ended up with the 1. But this is a group that can beat a team like Everett or Spokane. And the road game against Vancouver, they've been a little bit down here of late, but when we went up there the last time, they got some great goaltending from Burke Hood, who we saw on Sunday afternoon. I'm sure we'll see him again because, by and large, he's done a great job for them this season. They've got some great rookies like Ryan Lynn on the blue line. So this Vancouver team's a tough team. We caught them on a night where they were coming off, I think, a little bit of a low with dropping a game to Kelowna. So it was a game that I think they would like to have back, and they'll get their opportunity on Sunday. We got to be ready to shut that down and get those 2 points that we need.
Same scenario we talked about last week. The top 7 teams in the Western Conference, they're locked. 3 of them have already clinched a playoff spot. The other 5 are all but in. I mean, it's just a matter of where they all fall between 4 and 7. And then big number 8. We play Kamloops, who is chasing us. We play them one more time in Kamloops. Problem is we don't play the Thunderbirds anymore. We're done for the season with them. So that we're going to be doing a little scoreboard watching. I hate to say that. We got to take care of our own business, but who's kidding you? Everybody doesn't.
Yeah, it's going to be inevitable, I think. We've got to take care of our own business, absolutely. And we're going to need a little bit of help. We can win every game the rest of the way, but if Seattle wins every game the rest of the way, and we do as well, we're still on the outside looking in. So we're going to need a little bit of help. We'll probably do some scoreboard watching, but it's not going to be the priority for us. We've got to take care of our own business first get the 2 points, walk off the ice, and then check and see how the Thunderbirds did that night.
We start in Spokane at the Veterans Memorial Arena on Friday, as you mentioned already. Last 10 games, Spokane is 7-1-1-1. They have slowly worked their way up the standings ever since they made those significant roster moves that you talked about. Right now, I still think they're the best team in the league. Everett, which stormed out to a huge lead, I think they clinched a playoff spot like in November, something like that. They've kind of hit cruise control. They're 6-4 in their last 10 games. Doesn't seem to be a real sense of urgency at the other side of Highway 2 with Everett. They don't seem to be trying real hard.
Well, and some of it, I think, is probably more of it is they've run into some injury issues. They've got 4 players that are out of their lineup and have been for several weeks, and maybe out of the lineup again for the rest of the season. So they've got some high-end guys in their lineup right now, but not quite, I think, the depth that they usually have. And when they're taking on a team like Spokane or a Seattle that was hot on Saturday when they caught them, it's not going to be an easy night for Everett when they're trying to roll that 4th line out there and they don't have the horses that they usually have. And you run into a team like Seattle or Spokane that's having a hot night.
How are we doing health-wise? I mean, again, we've played 57 games. We're getting to the tail end of the season. There's always the bumps and bruises. That's part of hockey. You're going to get bumps and bruises. Any significant injuries that we need to be concerned about? Not
really, other than we've still got Josh Fluker out of the lineup. Still trying to get Grant Reed back from some upper body stuff. But we've gotten some guys back. Seth Tansom has been back in the lineup and filling in that 2nd and 3rd pairing spot. We've had Alex Garrett back in the lineup. Almost got us that overtime win on Saturday down in Portland. So we've been able to fill that lineup in lately. We were able to bring in Grady Wedman from Alberta, one of our affiliate players, and Winnipeg picked him up in the 8th round of the draft a couple years ago, so a later round draft pick, but he really showed himself this past weekend. Showed a lot of initiative to get into a play. A lot of smarts, quite a bit of skill for a 16-year-old that hadn't played in the Western Hockey League before. So we were able to fill in the lineup a little bit better with some help from one of our affiliates. And we've got some guys in the pipeline that have been able to come out and make an impression on us here already. But for right now, we've been able to fill that lineup. And obviously being able to fill the lineup out showed a lot of promise here this weekend, too.
This Friday, again, on the road in Spokane, back home Saturday with the Tri-City Americans in town, a team that we've played actually pretty well this year. We've gone down to their barn in Kennewick and kicked them around a little bit. Now they're going to come up here and the Americans, I mean, let's beat them.
Absolutely. And we'll have a big crowd in the building for Hockey Fights Cancer Night. Trying to shake off a little bit of a streak here of late. The road team hasn't lost a game in the series in over a year. So we're going to try to break that streak coming up on Saturday night. It is Hockey Fights Cancer Night, so we'll have the special jerseys out again. We've seen the jersey designs, full black with the pink numbers and everything, the Hockey Fights Cancer Wolf logo with the ribbons on the front. They're going to be outstanding jerseys to see on the ice, and we'll auction those off during the game, after the game as well. So it's going to be a great night for the Wild crowd, hopefully the Wild on the ice, and a great night for the East Cancer Foundation. They're going to get the proceeds from the jersey auction and everything that goes along with that. Yeah, there are 3 games every year that always sell out. Guns and Hoses, of course, and Hockey Fights Cancer is always a huge, huge crowd. And it's a little bit later on in the year, and I like that. Mm-hmm. I like that as well. We're at Vancouver on Sunday, the same Giants team that we beat here in our barn on Sunday. Hockey Fights Cancer. You can't paint the rink. That was a one and done deal on Monday, right? Yep, so, that was yesterday.
Okay, so just a heads up on that. I know a lot of people like to come out and do the old deal. One last message for you, my friend. We got 5 points over the weekend out of a possible 6. Good enough scenario for you, especially with a very good Spokane team right out of the box on Friday. Will you take 5 points this weekend as well?
Absolutely. 5 points this weekend. You look at what Seattle has. Obviously, we're chasing them, and like you said, doing a little bit of schedule watching and scoreboard watching. They've got a couple tough games this weekend with Everett and Spokane coming up on Saturday. So they've got a tough schedule this weekend. We've got a tough schedule. Every game is a tough one, but some very winnable games with the group that we have. So I would take 5 points. We're in as good a spot as can be right now. Obviously, you don't want to hang around forever and risk running out of time, but the goal right now is to be in the mix and be in the opportunity. And right now, these guys have the opportunity, and the time to take care of it is here. So.
Friendly reminder, folks, if you've been kicking around the idea of going to a Wenatchee Wild hockey game at the Town Toyota Center this year, enjoy the excitement, the incredible promotions that they do. You run out of home games, and the next one again Saturday against the Tri-City Americans. Get your tickets, WenatcheeWildHockey.com. Don't guarantee, don't even think that you could just walk up to the gate on Saturday night and buy a ticket. You might not be able to. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, your windy weather forecast. You're watching the Tuesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel. It's the NCWLIFE Community Calendar, a presentation of Apple Valley Honda. The Special Olympics Washington Winter Games returns to the Wenatchee Valley for the 35th year, the weekend of February 28th. 900 volunteers are needed to assist more than 1,200 participants and coaches throughout its 3-day run. From assisting on the slopes of Mission Ridge to keeping score of basketball games, no special skill is required. To volunteer, please visit the website on the screen.
Make your home your winter escape with Boswell's. Right now, save 10% on all qualifying recliners and ottomans, sofas, and home office chairs. Or save $400 on any motorized stressless power recliner. Plus, save $200 on 4 stressless dining chairs designed to follow your body's every movement. Shop Boswell's, 2915 Easy Street in Wenatchee.
Hey there folks, Blueberry Carrie here to invite you on out to Blueberry Hills to experience some real treats. Take a look at our homemade cream pies, our amazing cheesecakes, and don't forget our famous banana pudding. Remember, we're more than just great treats. People come from all over the world to experience what has been called one of the best destination restaurants in the Pacific Northwest. So come on out and see what all the fuss is about. Blueberry Hills in Manson. It's where the world is coming to.
Still a few high clouds, 36 degrees. Light rain still possible today. A little bit of light rain. We'll be done with it by 11 or so if we have it at all. The big story today, as you know by now, is going to be the wind. Now, we had the wind event on Sunday. It lasted for quite a bit of time. We had some very strong winds. We had one wind gust up at Pangbourne that was close to 50 miles an hour. It is going to be rather breezy in the morning hours, changing to downright windy this afternoon. But today's wind event is not going to be as long-lasting nor as severe as it was on Sunday. It did cause a couple of power outages on Sunday evening. May happen today. May see a power outage or two today simply because, of course, the soil is just soaked with all the rain that we got. We got over 1/3 of an inch of rain over the last 3 days, and that means some of the taller trees that might have a weaker root system might come tumbling down in the winds. We shall see. So get ready for some strong winds today. Then after that, really about nothing to talk about. Today is going to be one last of the active day, the last of the atmospheric river goes away and we calm down from the National Weather Service. Let's get right to it. Again, a little bit of light rain possible this morning. Snow level is right now at 3,100 feet. All three of the major mountain passes are getting some snow right now. Stevens is getting a pretty good dose of snow. Same deal with Blewett. Not too much on Snoqualmie Pass. Quite windy this afternoon. The strongest winds between 11:30 to about 2. Then we calm down, and mild will top off at 51. Our normal high is 45, so it's going to be very warm today. Clear tonight, and then nothing. Very benign, very quiet. Lower 50s for the afternoon high with more sunshine than clouds. Overnight lows about normal. Dry, no wind. It's going to kind of feel like spring a little bit once we get to tomorrow. Hang in there, folks. Enjoy the wind. We'll see you tomorrow. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.